party, then you'll know how busy it gets and how little time you have. So of course Monday is here, and I've been posting on Mondays and Thursdays, and I thought, oh no, I've actually got nothing. So in this video I'm going to say a little bit about what happened at the wedding, and how it went and things, rather than just talk about those little packets that I'm making, those little bags. I will quickly tell you what was in them. The favours that my mum wanted, she wanted little foil bags, the purple of course to match the theme of the wedding, and she wanted them so you can hang them up in your wardrobe or closet. So we bought some dried rose petals from eBay, which smelled absolutely gorgeous. They were sealed in a Ziploc bag and they just smelled so lovely. So what we did was we put them in the purple foil bags and then resealed them to keep the smell in. We also had some little brown bags which doubled as a place setting. We had the names wrote on, and in the ladies' bags they had the closet scent bag with the petals in, and a really nice hand cream, or like hand therapy, which is a scrub that you rub into your hands and wash off. In the gentlemen's envelopes, of course they didn't have a scented bag, they had 2 scratch cards. We were originally going to get them lottery tickets, which is quite common, a lot of people do that, but I thought it'd be more fun to get scratch cards, because obviously lottery tickets you have to wait until the lottery comes round and some people forget, whereas scratch cards are instant. You can literally scratch it off and have the excitement there and then of winning. And I think we had 4 people who won on the scratch cards. I think the biggest win was £2, but it was quite good. So the wedding was on Saturday, and I went to my mum's on Friday night, and had some dinner there, and we all chilled out. A couple of other family members came, and we stopped over. And the reason I stopped over was because we had a hair appointment to get our wedding hair done very early on the morning. Well, I say very early. A 9 o'clock hair appointment is early for me, so we had to leave the house at 8:15. We went into Durham to get our hair done, then came back and chilled out a little bit. Then me and my mum set off to the venue. We had a room there to put our makeup on and get our dresses and have a little bit of champagne and relax before the wedding. We had decided to do our own makeup. I know that a lot of people have their hair and makeup and nails and things come on the day and do it all in the morning, but I'd already done my own nails, and my mum had hers done at a nail salon the day she got her dress fitted, which was actually only 3 days before the wedding. There was a bit of a mix-up with the dress and it never turned up, so it turned up eventually on the Wednesday. So she had to go at 2 o'clock on Wednesday and get fitted for the dress and keep trying it on and getting it mended, trying it on, and then eventually she left with the dress on Wednesday. So that was a little bit of stress, but we didn't mind it too much because that was the only stress that really happened in the wedding. Everything else just went super smoothly. So she had got her nails done on Wednesday, 1 o'clock, just before the dress fitting, and I'd done my own. eyeshadow on, so for somebody else to do her makeup, they may have put a lot of makeup on and her eye sort of swells up, and obviously that's the last thing you want, so she was better off doing her own. And I'm also quite fussy. I don't wear any foundation or powder, and every time I've had somebody else do my makeup, they've put foundation, concealer, pressed powder, loose powder, and I didn't particularly like it, so I said that I would do my own makeup as well. So we were in the room, we had our hair already done, had a little bite to eat, and it literally just was little snacky foods. We had some crisps, some dried pineapple, there was some cashew nuts there. We popped a bottle of Moët once we had all our makeup done. That was essential that our makeup was done before I opened any alcohol, because I'm not very good at putting makeup on at the best of times, and I'm even worse when it's with alcohol. So we were all ready and guests had started to arrive, so it was time to get the dresses on. I got my mum into her dress so that she could have time to relax and sit down and enjoy her bubbly. Then I got into my dress, and my brother arrived at the venue. He was giving my mum away, so he came up to the room, and he shared in a glass of Moët with us while the photographer took a few pictures, and then it was time for the ceremony to begin. My mum walked down the aisle to Ellie Goulding. I think it's called How Long Will I Love You? I really should know that, but I've forgotten. I'd love to say I held it together really well. I didn't actually cry, and I had no intentions of getting emotional, and I tripped up the stairs 3 times on the way to the aisle, so I was very giggly before I walked down the aisle, and as soon as I got round the corner to see everybody and the music, I felt myself start to well up and get emotional. So I just thought, just smile, just, say hello to everyone. So I held it together okay, but I felt that I sort of, if you looked at me, you could see I was almost crying. Then my mum came down the aisle with my brother. My mum didn't hold it together so well, she was crying all the way down. Obviously the ceremony happened. My brother read a poem out that my mum had written. Then when they were married, got a few more pictures and walked back up the aisle. We had a champagne reception, got a few pictures on the stairs and things. We sat down in a tea room for our dinner. There was 3 different rooms for the day. There was one for the ceremony, one for the wedding breakfast, and one for the evening do. The room we sat down in for the wedding breakfast was like a little tea room. Rather than having separate tables, it was sort of, I think it was 5 or 6 tables all joined in one big line. There was circular tables and rectangular tables, and everyone just sat together. There was only about 30 people there, so everyone had a great time and chatted with one another. For our starter, we had a vegetable soup. Then for the main course, we had chicken with Yorkshire pudding gravy and vegetables, roasties, broccoli sashes around all of the chairs. They had the jars that me and my mum had made. We'd gathered lots of different jars, painted them a very pale blue, which was the same colour as my dress, and sort of dabbed the paint off. Then tied first we put lace around, and then we tied a little lilac bow on and put candles in, and then there was a small sprinkling of lilac table confetti. So everybody sat up that end. Then the left hand side of the room, we had the DJ in the corner. There was a sweetie cart, like it was a kind of really old-fashioned ice cream cart that you could push. And we had decided, well, every wedding I go to, if I'm there sort of all day, by the night time I'm really lacking in energy and all I want is sugar. But I find that the food they serve is all savoury. It's sometimes you get like the buffet foods and burgers and chips and quiche and things, but there's never any sweet foods, there's never any sugar, and that is what I crave when I'm really tired. I just want that sugar boost. The sugar boost you do get is the cake, but cake is very filling. So I suggested to my mum that we should have a sweet card, mainly because I thought it would be great if we had some sweets there. But also I've been to weddings where there's sweet cards and they just went down a storm. People loved them. So we decided rather than hire a company to do it, we would just do it ourselves. So we gathered together jars that we had, like not small jam jars but big jars, like a biscuit jar, like the big glass jars that we had. And she bought some more from Asda. They were only £1. We went and bought a ton of old-fashioned sweets. There was flying saucers, jelly cherries, Parma violets, rainbow drops, of course. What else? Goodness, there was so much. Mini eggs, mini chocolate eggs, these kind of sugary pencils, when they've got this stuff inside and they're all different colours on the outside and they're sugary. Then fish, I can't remember the name of them. There's something fish, like they were like jellyfish. And there was flumps and a couple of other things, but I can't remember everything. And we'd bought bags for them. There was these white and pink stripy bags that they looked like the bags you'd get popcorn in. And I ordered from Amazon some little silver scoops and also some tongs. They were actually ice tongs that I bought, but they were perfect for the sweets. And when we got to the venue, she said, "Oh, put them on the cart." And we didn't realise there was a cart there, and it looked so good. And I think an hour and a half, 2 hours in, I walked over to the sweet cart and it was empty. And there was two girls there looking for some sweets, and it had all gone. And I remembered that we'd put the extra underneath the cart. It's like a little secret compartment inside. So I said, "Oh, wait there," and I lifted the little secret compartment up and started filling all the jars up, and everyone was just standing around waiting for me to fill certain ones up that they were waiting for. And everybody was like, "This is just so good." So if you have a wedding, you should put a sweet cart on. I think it's just because it doesn't matter how old you are, everybody loves sweets. And my uncle, he was he's very sensible. He was over there filling his bag up with Parma violets just did whatever we wanted on top of that. So there was Vici, there was a lot of Pharrell actually. I think there was at one point where we had 4 Pharrell songs played in a row. There was Blurred Lines, Happy, the one he did with Daft Punk, Get Lucky, and then another one. But you just can't go wrong with Pharrell. And I danced so much. I took my heels off. I wore quite big heels for the wedding. And then after the meal, I just couldn't wear them anymore. So I took them off and I had some satin ballet slippers and I put those on so I could dance. But because I'd lost some inches from taking my heels off, I then had to lift my dress up the whole night. And by the end of the night, I just couldn't wait to get the dress off because I tripped over this dress so many times. But it was lovely to have a pretty dress on because normally I am a jeans, t-shirt and hoodie girl, so it was nice to have a glamorous dress on for the day. We were the last ones there, obviously. It was 12:30 when the taxi came for us. Then we went back to the hotel we had booked, which was on the quayside in Newcastle, and that was called the Copthorne. It was a lovely hotel. It had a really nice view out under the water. You could see the Millennium Bridge, the Tyne Bridge to the left, and then the bridges for the trains to the right. It was relatively quiet. I got woken up at about 3 a.m. by a stag party screaming, and there was a puppy. And if you've watched a couple of my videos, you'll know that my next door neighbours have got a new puppy. It's actually getting a lot better, the puppy. Obviously it takes quite a while for it to set in, but I thought a night away from our house and we'll not hear the puppy, because it starts to bark at 5 o'clock in the morning until about 7 until they get up. But I think the person in the room next door to me had a puppy in the hotel, so we still had the little puppy barking. And then we got up in the morning and came back, and I had a bit of a snooze yesterday for an hour because I was so tired. And I had a lovely long sleep last night. I didn't set my alarm. I just thought I'd sleep until I wake up and catch up on all the sleep I've lost, which leads me to Monday, and the day that I've obviously forgot to do a video. Well, I didn't forget to do a video. I knew I was going to do some whispering over this, so hopefully this will get up in time for you to watch it.